Hello and welcome to Estuary TV News with me, James Dunn. On tonight's show, budding local stars in and around Louth get a helping hand from across the Atlantic. And could this be the future for new schools? Find out later in the show. And Ben Watcham from Humberside Fire and Rescue joins me on the sofa to talk about a new campaign to prevent rubbish fires. But first, here's Erica Barker with the news headlines.
Hello, the headlines today. Unemployment across Yorkshire and the Humber falls, and the hunt is on for an armed robber in Scunthorpe. But first, inspectors from the Care Quality Commission have given the hospitals run by Northern Lincolnshire and Goole NHS Foundation Trust a clean bill of health. The CQC has published its reports following inspections of Scunthorpe and Grimsby hospitals and a desktop review of Goole Hospital in December. Comments in the reports include that progress has been made in taking action to improve patient care and treatment in the areas visited, and that there are enough qualified, skilled and experienced staff to meet patients' needs. The CQC's original inspection in February 2013 did not raise any major concerns, but issues were identified, including those relating to documentation and the completion of staff's mandatory training. Humberside Police is urging small and medium-sized businesses to work with them to ensure they are one step ahead of the criminals. In partnership with the Business Crime Reduction Centre, a roadshow was travelling across the region. Recently, they were in West Hull listening to people's concerns, with experts offering advice on everything from taking adequate safety measures through to how to spot scams and fraudsters.
We need to make sure that even if they've not been a victim of crime, they do have security on their priority listing as a business, and we need to make sure that we assist them where their concerns lie. For example, if a business wishes for us to do an assessment of their property, we can come and look at writing business reports, which provides impartial, independent advice on security measures to make sure that they're fully aware of what's available on the market. Businesses have got an opportunity to make sure that they're spending the money in a smart manner, making sure that they're investing in security measures that can help each other reduce crime as well. There are a plethora of different things that businesses can do.
Unemployment across Yorkshire and the Humber has fallen by 8,000. According to the Office for National Statistics, a total of 240,000 people were unemployed in the region between October and December. The region's unemployment rate was 8.6% and it saw a fall of 3.2% during that period. Meanwhile, nationally, the number of people without a job also continues to fall, with a record number of women now in work. A hunt is on as detectives in North Lincolnshire try to find a man who was believed to be responsible for 2 armed robberies at the one-stop shop Eaton Court in Scunthorpe. An investigation was launched after the first incident, which happened on Wednesday the 5th of February. However, late into the evening on Monday the 17th, the man who was thought to be the same offender tried his luck again. This time, however, he left the shop empty-handed. Women in North East Lincolnshire were given an insight into the world of an entrepreneur as part of the 100 Inspiring Women event held at the Beehive in Grimsby. Former Sunday Times Enterprise editor Rachel Bridge gave a talk to around 40 local business enthusiasts. Rachel, who has written many books on entrepreneurship, said anyone could turn their hand to it, providing their idea had a market.
I think perhaps one of the most useful pieces of advice is to keep it simple. Business doesn't have to be complicated. I think many people make it complicated, but it actually is just about finding a good idea. And what I told them this evening is actually make sure there is somebody out there who wants to buy what you're trying to sell. People often get it backwards. They find something they want to do and that they're good at, but they forget about who is actually going to buy my product or service.
More than 200 budding actors, singers and dancers got a masterclass in performance from the Young Americans this week. The cast of more than 40 19 to 23-year-olds visited the area and stayed with the local families as part of their tour around the UK. They held a 2-day workshop for local stars of the future at Louth Cordo Academy, and for the finale, those who took part got to showcase what they'd learned at Skegness's Embassy Theatre yesterday.
They get really interactive with you all, so you don't feel left out. So everyone seems to enjoy it at the end of the show.
Correct. So we have tours that go all over the United States, to Canada. We go all over Europe, to Japan, China, to Korea, South Africa. Singing and dancing and acting. We do everything from hip hop to classical music, Broadway numbers. We really do it all, and we teach the kids as much as we can.
And that's all from me. Until next time, goodbye.
Thanks, Erica. Now, there's no business like show business, as they say on Broadway, and that's why so many talented young people grow up hoping to break into the entertainment industry. And this week, many of them got some valuable pointers from a group that travel the world showing people, even younger than them, how to perform. I went to Cordo Academy to talk to the young Americans and the local children they were teaching in Louth as part of their tour of the UK. This is the result of just 2 days of practice with the Young Americans, a travelling group of talented entertainers from all over the world.
So we have tours that go all over the United States, to Canada. We go all over Europe, to Japan, China. If singing and dancing isn't their thing, we have enough young Americans on our cast who are so diverse that each kid is able to get something out of the workshop, whether it's finding a new friend or discovering a passion for something that they never knew they had before.
Our friends from across the pond are doing a tour of the UK, and they've each got a unique story to tell that helps them reach out to young people everywhere.
I was actually one of those guys that kind of like we would say made fun of the people that did theater and did performing. But once you're on the other side, it's like anything, you know. You can't hate on it once you try it, you know.
Well, when I went to high school, I was a bit of a talker. I like to talk a lot, and I couldn't really sit in my seat a lot. So the way I learned things was a lot different than other people, and a lot of teachers didn't really have a lot of patience with me, so school wasn't very my favorite. So the fact that I can teach now to other kids, I can teach them in a way that other teachers don't normally teach. So I like to reach out to the kids that have the same problem I had.
After just 2 days' practice, these young people performed their work at Skegness's Embassy Theatre, and they were grateful for the help.
I think I've got more confident in singing and become better.
Yeah, they sort of give you little tips as you go through it. So like, you say, oh, do this instead of doing it how you did it, and it makes you, if you remember them, then they're better all together.
And you don't have to be American to be a part of it. Lincolnshire lad Joe Ramsden is back for the first time since he joined after leaving university last year.
Up until last year around February, I hadn't really travelled that much. In the past year and a half since joining the Americans Going on Tour, I have been to 5 or 6 different states in America and spent pretty much the last year and a half there, and now I'm back in my home country.
James Dunn, Estuary TV News. Now, the population is rising, and so Britain will always need new schools. But with council budgets falling, many are having to rethink the way that they build them. I went to see a new school which is being built on the Nunsthorpe, or not, as the case may be. Between 2010 and 2012, there was a 3% increase in the birth rate in North East Lincolnshire, and many of those children will be starting school as early as next year. As a result, there are a number of new school buildings and extensions in the area. Among them is the £4.5 million Woodlands Primary School, much of which was built off-site.
Modular builds for our schools is pretty much the way forward. I think it's certainly proved that you can get a quality of building to the standard that we expect for substantially less than a traditional build, and I think that's very important in today's economic climate, where clearly we have to be careful with how we spend our funding. But it's very important also that we recognise that our schools do need developing.
Cost is crucial at a time when North East Lincolnshire Council is trying to cut £76 million from its budget by 2017, although many new schools and extensions will be funded by central government. But there are other benefits to a modular build like this one.
We started cutting the ground here on the 21st of October. We put all of the main part of the building in place before Christmas, and the children will be in this new school just after the Easter holidays. you know, what do you get for your money? Well, we believe with this type of system, you get everything that you want inside the classroom, because that's the most important part for the children, and externally, we can, you know, it can look fantastic externally, but without trying to win, you know, architectural worldwide awards for it, which is not necessary in the UK.
The school will be equipped with top-of-the-range learning facilities. There'll be Wi-Fi in every room and touchscreen boards. But it is hoped that new classrooms like this will do more than just meet demand.
I think the investment in this area is showing a community that sometimes feels a bit neglected, that actually they are important and that we do value them, we value their children, we value their future.
It raises aspiration about the investment in the community by the authority in schools like this. It demonstrates that we're keen and committed to helping the children, and evidence does demonstrate from around the country that investment in facilities and new activities will increase their outcomes for the children.
Now on the sofa with me today I have Ben Watcham, a community safety advocate from Humberside Fire and Rescue, to talk to me about how to keep your property safe from the rising number of bin fires in the area. Thanks for coming in today, Ben.
My pleasure, thank you.
So, bin fires, this is a rising problem in the area, is it?
It is a small but growing problem that we've got in Grimsby and Cleethorpes, particularly on the east and west marshes of the town and the central area. So what we come to do is ask people if they can just give a bit more care with their rubbish bins. Part of the problem is nobody actually knows what's in a wheelie bin, and what we find is people are actually leaving them out on the streets or perhaps in the front garden, and certain people are coming past and setting fire to them.
So these are deliberate fires?
They are unfortunately deliberate fires, yeah. Like I say, they're dangerous because we don't know what's in them. Could be aerosols, could be oils, paint, anything like that.
And if it's aerosols, you know?
Obviously it can be exploding. And one of the side effects can be that if it's too close to the property, what starts off as a malicious fire can then actually spread to the property and put the occupants themselves into danger. So what we're asking for is people to, after they've had the bins emptied, take the bins around the back, if possible, or secure them in such a way.
So something as simple as that can...
Just as simple as that. Now, if they wish, Humberside Fire and Rescue Service will actually come out and, for free, secure your wheelie bin to the property. So at least it can't be moved, but if somebody does set fire to it, it'll be in a safe location away from the premise itself.
And presumably, as well as potentially causing hazard to homes, it's lots of these small fires can be quite a burden on the fire service.
They're a burden on the fire service and, believe it or not, a burden on your rates. So unfortunately, if somebody sets fire to a wheelie bin, it's then going to be taken away for specialist cleaning, which the last figure I was given was about £400 to actually repair.
Surprising amount of money.
And I don't think the people know it, but if you have your wheelie bin stolen or set on fire, you then have to pay about £40, I believe, to actually have it replaced by the council. So there is a cost to yourself, there's a cost to the rates, and as you stated before, there's a big cost to the fire service, because obviously we're running around putting out the rubbish fires.
And obviously one way to prevent this spreading to your house would be to secure your bin, but I mean also there are safety steps that people should take anyway within their homes.
They should, yeah. I mean the main thing that we've got to push is the use of smoke alarms. Smoke alarms don't stop fires, but what they do is give you plenty of warning. For those who aren't aware, a smoke alarm goes off within about 20 seconds of it sniffing smoke. So any fire that breaks out, it gives you plenty of time to get straight out, get out the property, dial 999 and call the fire service.
And that can save not only your own lives, but those of your
family. Save your own lives, family, and other people about as well, next door neighbours, etc. Because unfortunately, sometimes fires do spread.
And if people want to know how they can find out more about fire safety, is there somewhere they can go to find out this information?
Yeah, they can contact us at Peaks Lane Fire Station, or we've actually got a free phone number, which is 0300 303 8242, where they can actually ask for more advice and they'll be given the details over the phone.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for coming in
pleasure.
Today, Ben. Now don't forget that if you have any stories, news or views that you want to share with us, get in touch by phone on Grimsby 315561, write on our Facebook page or tweet us at Estuary TV, or email us on news@estuary.tv. That's all from us today. Thank you for watching. Bye.